Everything you need to know to sow seeds inside or outside can be found in your pocket. That wealth of information doesn't come from a smartphone. It comes from a seed packet. So join me as I cover the 20 things you need to know about seeds that you can find on a seed packet. Hi, I'm Gardener Scott. One of the main reasons I like seed packets so much is that I can take a stack of these packets, stick them in my pocket, and then head outside. And everything I need to know about those seeds are contained on every single one of these pieces of folded paper. By the end of the video, you'll know the 20 things that I think are important to know that you can find on a seed packet. And we'll take it step by step, and I'll show you the important things and the things that are just nice to know. To begin, for most packets, both the front and the back are loaded with this important information. And there are actually some seed companies out there that will put information on the inside. So the first thing you do is just look at the packet and start to soak in all that wonderful gardening knowledge. Let's begin with the first 5 things that you should look for on the front of the seed packet. First, the name. Every package will have this. Some will even include the Latin name for the plant, but usually it's the common name. Look for a picture of what the plant will look like when it's ready to harvest or when the flowers are at their peak bloom. Look for the name of the company that is selling these seeds. Some companies are more reputable than others, and if there's a company you like, you can look for the name. Look for how many seeds you're getting. That's not on this package. This one says it's 100 seeds, and here it tells by weight, 21 grams, how many seeds you'll be getting. And the 5th thing to look for right off the bat, are these seeds organic? Some companies will give a nice big banner, but almost always they'll have this little USDA organic symbol to let you know if the seeds are indeed organic. Often for seeds that you might purchase online or through a catalog, like from this Park Seed, you'll see that there's not a picture of the plant on the front because you'll have seen the picture in the catalog. But a lot of that same basic information is there. Other information that you can find on the front of a seed packet, it will tell you if it's historic or an heirloom seed, and it'll tell you if it's a hybrid seed. Also look for how tall the plant is going to be, the size, and look for how many days to harvest that you can expect from these seeds. There you have 8 pieces of information that you can find on the front of the package. But you probably noticed that the packages are different. You won't necessarily find all 8 pieces on every single package, but look for it. The most important information is found on the back. It's on the back where you really find out how to grow your seeds. Now that we're looking at the back of the seed packet, let's begin with the first 5 important things to look for. The first is when to sow. This one says outdoors as soon as soil can be worked. This one says outdoors after danger of frost. And this one actually says indoors 4 to 8 weeks prior to the last frost. Seed depth is the next important one. This one has a little picture and says 1/2 inch. This one has a little picture and says 1/4 inch. And this one says seeds are covered only slightly to allow light. The third thing is the seed spacing. You might have a picture like this where it says direct seed 2 inches apart. This one will say thin to stand about 12 inches apart. And this one points out that the plants will be put into the ground 2 to 3 feet apart. The fourth thing is the days to germination. This one says the seeds will germinate in 5 to 10 days. This one says seedlings emerge in 14 to 21 days. And this one says you should have warm conditions for the sprouts, which can take anywhere from 3 to 10 days. And the fifth most important piece is the amount of light required. This one has a nice little picture that says full sun. This one specifically identifies the need for putting it under a grow light setup. And this one right here doesn't have a picture or a specification about the light, which means you have a little more flexibility. Okay, let's continue with more great information on the back of a seed packet. Look for the date that the seeds were packed. It'll tell you what year they were put into the packet, so you'll have an idea if they're new seeds or if they're old seeds. Look for where to sow. It might tell you sow seeds outdoors, or it'll tell you to sow seeds indoors, like that tomato earlier. Look for a description about the plant. This one talks about how it's a hardy biennial, and it gives the height of the tops and the roots here. This gives you a little history about the plant because it's an heirloom. And this one is just quite simple. It tells that it's an oval semi-Savoy leaf, perfect for a salad, pureeing, or freezing. Are you beginning to see some of the information that maybe you skipped over, chose to ignore, or just didn't know about on seed packets? I'd love to hear your comments below if there's something that strikes your interest that you didn't know about seed packets. Look for the recommended temperature for germination. This one identifies 70 to 75 degrees. This one identifies 70 degrees. Look for the transplant information. Here it says after danger of frost, set the pots outdoors in a protected area to harden off. This one says after the last frost, set the seedlings into the garden. And then look for the information about the company. If you've got questions, you can always contact on a website or a phone number, and that'll usually be printed on the packet. If you speak Spanish, don't be surprised to find the important information on the back of the seed packet printed in Spanish. How are we doing? There's a lot of information on these packets. You want some more? How about the expected percentage of germination? I've seen that on packets. Or how to harvest the plants, or how to preserve the plants, or particularly for hybrids, if there are any diseases that hybrid is bred to avoid. Also look for what fertilization needs the plant might have, or the country of origin of the seeds, or the bloom time, when you can expect the flowers to be at their peak. The simple seed packet loaded with gardening information. And if you'd like more gardening information, then subscribe to the Gardener Scott channel. You can click on the link below, select the bell so you know when all my future videos are coming out. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And if you like the video, you can give me a thumbs up and share it. I'm Gardener Scott. Enjoy gardening.